Hi, historians. Today for social studies, we are going to begin with learning how to create a page in our Florida history scrapbook. The first thing you're going to want to do before you get started with inserting the new content is to go ahead and personalize the front cover. You can color the state of Florida, you can fill in the word Florida, you can add your name to the bottom portion. This is going to be something we work on throughout the school year to add in the information that we're learning about our state. So you'll definitely want to make it a personal item. Once you're done coloring and personalizing the front cover, make sure you have the following tools: glue stick, pair of scissors, a pack of crayons, and your social studies resource folder that's within your anchor binder. Remember, do not take out your red folder, just go ahead and open it up. You're going to only take out the week 1 publication that we've been using this week. Then close your red folder, make sure it's still in your anchor binder, and put it away. So our job in 4th grade is to learn all about the state of Florida. That is the only focus that we have, is the state of Florida. So we want to build ourselves a scrapbook to remember all of the pieces of information that we're learning about our state. So each week we're going to be focusing on a different topic. So this week we were being introduced to the Florida Studies Weekly. But more importantly, when we were reading the newspaper this week, we were learning about our state symbols. So when we create a scrapbook page, we're going to remember and keep track of that important information that we've learned throughout this particular week. So I'm going to close my newspaper just for a moment and set it to the side because I'm going to be using it in just a moment. When you open up your scrapbook, make sure that you fold your cover carefully and then look at the remaining page. Each of our booklets are slightly different colors because we use different pieces of construction paper just to give them a little bit more creativity to them. But each week we're going to be using one page, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Before you get started, we have to label the top of our page so we remember what our week was focused on. So you can use a crayon, but I would suggest using a pencil first. Mrs. Ling's using a pen just so you can see it. But you're going to always put the week at the top in nice, neat, small letters. Week 1, 2 dots, and then we're going to put the focus or the topic we were reviewing this week. So this week we were talking about state symbols. And then I'm just going to underline it just so I know that's my focus of today's page. You're then going to use your own creativity, and this is not where you have to follow exactly what Mrs. Ling's doing, but this is a suggestion of how to record the important information that we found within the newspaper on your scrapbook page that represents state symbols. So your newspaper can be used to cut out the pictures that we found that were interesting. You can make a collage of the pictures. You can include words that were offered in this issue. I'm going to use the colorful pictures because I think they're a wonderful addition to our scrapbook. So I'm going to go ahead and cut along the bottom of the pictures. And then I'm going to try my best to cut out the pictures from this remaining part. So let me just go ahead and do that. Remember, at any time, if you wanted to just follow what Mrs. Ling's doing, that's okay. But you can pause the video and then you can continue it when you're done with your cutting out of your pictures yourself. Oops, there we go. So I'm going to kind of put away the information I'm not going to necessarily use right away. I'm going to cut this long section of pictures apart. I'm going to figure out how I want to include some of these things. So I'm going to cut them in sections and then maybe get it a little bit smaller. So for this particular one, I want to make sure that I'm representing all of these wonderful parts of our state. So I'm going to just try to figure out how I can make all of this kind of fit while still giving some of it some space. So I'm going to maybe put my larger section at the bottom right corner. I know that I have this that maybe I can turn to the side and fit on there. Maybe I can tuck this last piece even possibly behind right there. Maybe, we'll see. Even if a picture has to be kind of trimmed down, as long as you have the majority of it there, so you don't lose while you're including that. That's probably pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting my glue stick on the back. Go ahead and put that there. And remember to use a good amount of glue stick because we're gluing down things we want to keep in a safe place. I'm going to go ahead and kind of smooth that down a little bit. Then I'll take my bigger piece. Adding that glue there. Smoothing it down. And then my last section, I'm going to put the glue on the back of this. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to tuck that in as close to the margin as I can. There we go. So this is one way that you can create your scrapbook page, is by using the pictures within your newspaper publication to kind of make a collage of those important things that we've learned. This might be a great idea for this week because of state symbols, but in the future, if there's not a lot of pictures or there's more important information that is told in a word or a timeline or some sort of diagram, we might want to include that as well. You might want to go back to your newspaper and cut out some of our important subheadings to then glue those on top, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to just show you a couple examples. That way you know what you should do on your own, because we don't just want to have pictures in a scrapbook, but we want to give some information. So in a few weeks when we come back to it, we know why we included that picture. So I took the Florida state flag. I see the flags kind of down there. So I might want to just kind of put that title where the flag is located. I can go back to my newspaper again. And let's see, I can put state animals because I think that covers quite a few of them in that section. If you even want to find the more specific names of those animals within that article, in that paragraph, you can cut those out as well. So our state animals, I'm going to kind of put right there. And we're going to glue that down. And then let's do one more for an example, but you can continue to work on this. I'm going to do our state seal. So there is no need for you to print anything. It is just using your newspaper because we're done reading it to now create a memorable scrapbook of information that you're learning based on our state. So our state seal is up here. So each week we're going to be focusing on a new week at the top of our page. The topic we're focusing on learning. We're going to then create a collage only on Fridays of pictures and headings or important diagrams, timelines, maybe some information within a paragraph. There will be weeks that we want to include the counties at the bottom of our page, which is this section. We will always be focusing on some of the counties around our state. So if that is super important for us, for that week's learning topic, we will definitely cut that out. You could have also cut out our manatee to maybe put him a little bit bigger, even though there's a few manatees already on here. You could do the tree right here as well, kind of fit that somewhere in there, and that's something that I might do is add those two pictures because they're kind of cute. So remember, your job this week is to use your publication, create a scrapbook page of important pictures, headings, and possibly words that are within your paragraphs. Take a picture of your scrapbook page and then send to Mrs. Lane.